Welcome Insta. Happy Monday. I'm going to stop saying a day soon because time is an illusion and it's just the dates that confuse things when we start getting attached to a world that we've lived in, which none of it makes sense when we strip it right back. So we're going to be going into a new world where so many things is just going to shock us because we're so conditioned to be in a way that has been set for us, and everything that has been set out for us has been there really as a deception. And the recent few days and weeks actually has just been connecting the evil system. There is an evil system and there's a lot of people that operate within it. There's crime that links with all crime, which then has criminals all around the world. If we spiral it all the way up, it stems from Saudi Arabia and it comes all the way down, and corruption at every point. So when you see people that are even on movies and stuff, and people that got in a lot of trouble, and they're like, why don't you just move the area? Why don't you just leave? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Wherever they go, they're not safe because they've got scouts everywhere. They've got people in places all over. So that's so much easier to take in when you realise it is everywhere. Criminals it's organised. Hi, Victoria. Welcome. I thought I'd come on here and just do another one. It's just things are changing. You're seeing within the truth movement now, there's a lot of shifts taking place. And if you look at this like a game of chess, and who do you remove first? You remove the pawns. There's a lot of people within the truth movement that haven't really had a voice, haven't said anything, but they have their little role to do. Dislike pages, moan more. There's a lot less of them now. So then there's a lot of people that are being replaced with AI, and the message, well, there isn't really much of a message going out now from truthers. They're just literally stuck with not much to report on, apart from this fake war in Israel, which is more fake than the Ukraine one. And then people are still posting images and videos and stuff. And, well, what about the kids dying? Please stop saying that. Like, what about the kids dying? We've said that in every war. And what kids? Who? Tell us. Yeah, but they're bombing and they're not sending any bombs back. Where are you getting information from? Like, it's a movie. It's embarrassing that people forget. This connecting the dots, it's like all these things that we're told about, we forget about them, or we just choose not, and then we go off on another story. It's like something doesn't connect, then it's not true. Hi, Mummy Merch. Yeah, it's just been interesting watching now. I've just been taking a back seat and putting my life together really, and really making sense of a lot of things, and also preparing for what's to come as well. The new world. We've got so much learning to do, and first of all, so much stripping back all this to do. There's definitely going to be a celebration. I know that for a fact now. The scare event will get us to a point where it is, whoa, this is what we do have, and it's a full-on appreciation. And it's an amazing world that you can be loads of things to be appreciative of in this world. Like, it's been changing everything for me. Hi, AB 333. Yeah, when you start seeing how, I'm going to say it is a beautiful world that we live in, and you'll see the people, the animals, nature, see the weather. That when they take it away from us, and recently I've started noticing that it's the smells. Your nose knows the way, but they've been playing around with the weather, and it's the smell aspect where when the sun comes out, there's like an artificial feel sometimes, and then there's this smell. It just brings back memories as a kid, or when you go out late at night, or even the wind. Like, even that's been, it feels different at times, and the weather all around the world hasn't been amazing. So when it does come out, you start appreciating it more, and I feel like a lot of that's been done for a reason as well. If you go beyond meaning and words, God. So if you take away things that stimulate your senses, you take them away, you take away the sunlight, you make it look gloomy, it feels cold, it smells. Nah. If you take all that away, when you do bring it back, people come alive. It's almost like you have to take God away for people to find God or to know God. And that's the same in every aspect of life. So we've been literally shown darkness the whole time for a long time now. You don't see many people talking about God. You don't see educational programs where you're like, oh, that makes sense. They've taken all that away for us for a reason. So we have to do the fighting, because literally every area of our society around the world had been corrupted. It was to the point where they thought they were never going to lose, which is a scary thought now. Who we got on? Yes, it's been interesting, even just people that I've connected with over the last 3 years. And when I come back from Brazil 2021, and I was a year in the UK, I then met a lot of UK truthers, and I'm just looking back, like there's no one in the truth movement who got a platform that I trust. They're all part of the same. And the thing is, it's not about the individual work they do and stuff. A lot of them are imitators. That's what they do. They're like silent thieves. And most of them are trying to blend in and find their new role and just hope that the new world happens and they've been okay, no one knows about it. And you can see it all. It's clear to see. But no one's authentic. No one's doing any further research on this stuff at the moment. It's almost like, oh, and that's it. Like, it doesn't really give us much. Israel and Palestine, if you just continue reporting on that, you're not paying attention to the bigger picture. And it's merging everything together now. I did a post today, and I encourage people, start going on the Q posts. Like 6 years ago, the first ones were ever posted, end of October. So it's November the 6th today. Keep looking at what's going on now, because it ties everything together. Everything will come back to Saudi Arabia and the Kingdom of Sauds. You've got Barack Obama being funded and raised and mentored by Al Walid, which is a multi-billionaire. You then got Huma Abedin, which was part of the Muslim Brotherhood, who was the secretary for Hillary Clinton. You then have Huma, which is a Harvard Muslim education program funded by Al Walid. So they've completely corrupted that over the years. Al Walid also had shares in and a say in Fox News with Rupert Murdoch. Like, this goes deep. It goes really deep. What a beautiful ride it's been. We're only just getting started. Yeah, it is. It's the momentum's building now, though, and again, a lot of the normies, they're starting to wake up. I'm really going at LinkedIn and just keep talking about crime, because the city's full of crime. What I've realised now, there's a lot of people that have been doing crime in their line of work. Recruitment, it's awful. It's really bad. It's human trafficking to a different level. Like, they set you up on dates. They'll get someone to come in my case, become a client. They'll get everyone involved around you to create some sort of cause and effect, knowing that you bump into that person, then you get introduced to that person, then all of a sudden we've got you again. We can control you, we can manipulate you, we can deceive you, we can make money off you. That's the corporate world. So all crime links to all crime. What people are seeing now, though, as we're getting rid of the higher and the elites, you're seeing that all crime links to the same thing. It's the same system. There's a system that people give their blood in oath. They sell their soul. Born-again Christians. It's the way that they do it. You get in trouble and then you say, right, Jesus Christ is going to save me now. That's just your negotiation to get out of it. And also that's hiding behind the fact that you're going against God. So you use a character called Jesus Christ and you blame all your sins, which is just a myth, all your bad choices or your weak choices on someone that's taken the sins away on your behalf, which is nonsense. It's just weak-minded. So that's going to be one of the biggest, hardest things for, I'm going to say, more Americans to accept, is the story of Jesus Christ, and then the story what's being passed on by gatekeepers. You're seeing the what's his name, who's a pastor from Arizona. I've forgotten his name. I went to his church a few times, and he's now he was on Charlie Kirk's show the other day. He's evil. He's completely evil, and most of them in Arizona who are delivering the church service are not doing it for the good at all. Good people go to church and think what they're doing is good. It's not showing you God. It's showing you stories from the perception of someone else, telling you a different way to look at things, to make you feel useless, to make you to look outside yourself, to make you wait on a fictitious character that's not coming. You've got to wait for Jesus to save you. Save you for what? What do you need saving on? Why have you got to wait? When he does come, what does it look like? If you say he, you're Christ. Christ is here every day, the light. It comes into you, but you have to nurture it and let it rise up your body. You go up the straight and narrow path, your vertebrae, your chakras, your energy centres. 33 vertebrae, you die on the cross, you cross over. It's all in plain sight. Yes, the dang Elohim are blaming its sin on us. Yeah, sin. It's stupid that people even comment on things like that. It's like you've done things in the past, and some of the sins that they give examples for online is if you left your rubbish in your room, or you took your mum's car without asking, you got drunk, and you got to wait for Jesus to come down and forgive you. But stop waiting, just let that go. Don't let those things be an issue. Learn from it, changing it. It's horrible, was in the dark for too long. You could look at that, you could just say you were born in the dark and your light's just made the route a lot clearer now. You've just been navigating through, and let there be light. You've been born in the dark and you're the spark that comes in, you're the star that shoots down, a fallen angel. It's just we've been told that it was good, and then all these evil people around. That never made sense to me. How did the 1% get in control of the whole world? We created it all to allow them to go into it, to be stupid. That Albert Pike, with people like, oh, he's evil, we wrote this a long time ago. Yeah, we wrote the plan for the evil people to go and carry out, knowing exactly what they're going to do, and then you catch them all in the act over time, which we also created, and the maps, which we also created. They don't know the truth. They never know the truth because they're never in God's space. So they have to rely on someone else to tell them. They have to rely on other people to do their role to help with their crimes. Their whole life is relying on someone else. So how can you find God when you're always doubting yourself to have to worry for someone else to come and give you your answers, or tell you that you're right, or tell you you're on the right point, or tell you to stay in your lane? It's funny. And again, the truth movement now, look at them like drug dealers. You watch The Wire and they've all got their street corner and stuff, and you don't go into someone else's territory. That's the truth movement. You got some people that talk about exactly the same thing, but they don't link it to anything that's going on. It's just the same thing. Let me just tell you the same thing again. Let me just repeat the same story again. Let me tell you how good of a job I'm doing again. It doesn't change anything. The fact that this is a movie, Donald Trump's in control, there's a lot of people getting cleared out, there's a lot of exposing happening, and there's a lot of truthers within the movement that are part of it. They're gatekeepers. These are the people that would do all the dirty work for the belly of the beast. I've realised when people sell their soul as well, so many kids come when they have their babies and stuff, come out disabled or deformed, or they have some sort of cerebral palsy, etc. That's all done deliberately. People sell their soul, or someone in the family, it's a contract, it's a suicide, it's an unknown, but it's like, you misbehave, we can make these things happen. Because there's different people in different parts to do different things. When you go for your checkup, you've got your foods and you've got all these different things going on. You've got the oncologists, you've got the people that deliver it's evil system. It's evil. And I see all this, there's a horrible one to watch, because it makes you squirm a bit of how evil people are. It's called The Belly of the Beast. And go look when the black women, that's going to be a big thing actually, the black population, because as soon as they wake up, it changes everything. Going to see how much the Democrats or the devil, the D Party, have kept them slaves the whole time. And go and watch Belly of the Beast. It's the black female prisoners that realise that when the women go in for checkups and stuff, they're cutting the women's ability to have kids. They're slicing it open. And it was just a big thing. It was disgusting, like how, and this woman was started fighting. I couldn't watch it all the way through. It's just, that's evil. That's in one prison. That shit goes on all around the world. Doctors, they're so money hungry. The most unhealthiest people that I've witnessed that have a job title of health and helping people. They're the most unhealthiest. I've been to a few different houses and doctor, horrible mess, disgusting. They don't sleep. They go on Google, get all it's awful. No willingness to help people. But again, they get caught in a system, years of studying words, formulas, and then you have to keep doing things that are not natural, not in flow. People keep moaning, like the whole is horrible. So you sell your soul. If you get a kickback, if you put some new things out, if you do this for us, if you give data, you sell your soul. You can't get back from that now, and so many people have done that. So many people have done that in every aspect of society. Started connecting quite a few people that were on football scholarships. We call it YTS in England. But I've seen a lot of people now where they're all linked, and they're doing things for is crime. It's just low level crime that we would maybe deem it, but they're all doing the same thing. Hey Sam, good to see you. So true. Have to see it to believe it? Yeah, it's and in some cases you get to experience it, and then anyone that tries challenging that, someone like Sam, he'd tell you to F off. You don't know unless you've been through it. And when people moan about stuff online here, and sometimes I'm like, you haven't lived at all. You're quick to moan and you're quick to call other people up. You're not willing to do any work. You're not willing to even listen or just go and have a look a tiny bit further what was discussed. And then you make comments and you're like, you ain't got a clue. You ain't got a clue. It's actually insulting to people when people say that. So, yeah, that makes me laugh. And then you've got people, recently more so, I've known all this for 2 years. I've known all this. It's just tiring. No, you haven't known all this for 2 years. No, you haven't. Stop saying that. No one has. Stop saying, because if you've known all this for 2 years, you're wrong for not saying anything. You haven't known it for 2 years, so please stop saying comments like that. Oh, I was just waiting for everyone else to wake up. No. Like, that comment alone shows how far awake you are. Like, you're more asleep than most other people. It's like we want to take credit for things. Here's another one. And I remember when I come back from Brazil in 2021, and the amount of light workers and energy healers and Reiki masters and psychics and people that have their relationships with the Galactic Federation, all these people that mediums. I met lots of things, and they always get messages. I've got my spirit guides, that's one of them. Got my spirit guides, I've got my council. I'm part of something. Where's all your input on what's going on? If you're that connected, surely you'd be able to help us now. Not tell us, oh, there's a big shift coming, I can feel it. It's, I feel loads of energies combined. That's the crap that you get. And I feel like a big part of this awakening as well is draining out all these people. Just make up stuff. You get people, it's like, oh, I don't know who needs to hear this today, but this one come to me strong. And they'll say something like, you've been working hard in your life. Keep going. Your rewards will come. You're being noticed. And then other people go, oh my God, that's me. Oh my God, that guy said something that, how did he know that? He doesn't even know me. That's the problem. And it just keeps going on. It makes me laugh. It makes me laugh. You got the people that channel. I'm seeing it's all bullshit now as well. Bashir's one of them. It's just like this. Oh no, because he's not channeling. He's making that up. He has good knowledge on a lot of this stuff. He's not channeling. So people channeling, for me, all these people that say, I'm channeling Master Chow and I'm channeling them, you're mostly getting words coming through, but that's you. Take ownership. You're receiving. You put it out there. Those are your words. Own it. You can get away with saying whatever you want if you're saying it's channeling, because no one can challenge you on it. It's like, oh no, I was channeling. If you're channeling though, let's take that logic. That's an outer body, that's an energy that you're receiving coming through, right? Energy is love. That's it. Energy is love. So when people bring it through, but the way that they're describing things is very negative, and you don't do this, you don't need to do that, you don't do all the things that you shouldn't do. That's not love. Love doesn't give you the knots. Love gives you the truth. Paul Selig 2, don't know who he is. I don't know who he is. There's a lot, again, if you take a bigger system, I used to go to a few psychic and medium events in a place called London College of Psychic Studies, and it was really interesting. And it was like a room full of people, and then people put their hands up, and but there's going to be a lot of actors in that room that when they put their hand up, the answer is so clear, and you're like, you're bought into it because some of the things that are said is so powerful. But again, because my story now all connects with people, I realised one of the people closest to me, when I started going on this part, she then became a trustee on that, and she was the one inviting me onto a lot of these talks. She was the one that then took one of my other trainers who worked for me, and he had this amazing moment and he couldn't handle it and stuff as well. Again, it's allowing people to trust in someone else to tell you about you and tell you, no, that's not right. No, that's because you're doing this. No, that's because... And then you're constantly like, it's all within you. It's nice to speak to someone that can give you their input and their perspective and maybe getting you look at things from a different aspect. All the answers are in you. So again, channeling and these people that claim they're someone else is bullshit. It's bullshit. Their knowledge is good. Are they receiving yet? But any deceiving is remembered. It's just I remember the words. I remember the script. It's quite simple. You have to know for yourself exactly. And then you use other people. The thing is, most people in these positions are not interested in anyone else. They just talk their game. And again, it's when people ask questions, it's about having a conversation to be able to ask questions back. A lot of people don't know how to listen. So again, you cannot be present if you're not being listening. So when people say that they're channeling and they're all these different things, yet they're not listening, they're not present. If they're moaning, if they're bitching, if they're gossiping, they're whinging, you cannot be in your truth. And if you're unable to back up what you're saying, especially when you do get challenged, because everyone's entitled to have an opinion, and if you get challenged, if they're unable to do it or they lose their rag, again, it's bullshit. Everyone needs to keep working on themselves. Someone said the other day, I don't do any of that self-development stuff. I'm perfect. You're perfect, but let's take it your life in a spiral. You're perfect in this limited capacity. Perfection can continue if you use a circle to keep expanding. So you can be your definition perfect, but let's get this straight. My perfect and your perfect are two completely different meanings. So there's another thing is don't take people's words as a truth. Listen, observe, reflect, define it yourself. Same with the fitness industry. When I was in there, and eventually I got introduced to loads of influencers and started training some of them on our courses. And again, it was all nonsense. It's all words. Got one girl I just checked out today. Now she's, where's my ADHDers? And it's ADHD specialist and my ADHD. And people don't understand what ADHD is. 4 letters. It's 4 ADHDers. Like it's a cool thing. That's like me going, where's my suiciders? Let's do a little dance. Going to kill ourselves soon. It's stupid. Close your eyes and tell me what the difference is between ADHD and stress. What's the difference? Close your eyes. What's the difference? What's the difference between ADHD? again, it don't make sense. ADHD. I could say, what's the difference between, as a feeling, ADHD and BBCD? What's the difference? 4 words that come out my mouth, and if you go beyond words, what's the difference between na na ba na? 4 sounds that come out my mouth. It's ludicrous when we take ownership and take possession of my ADHD and then make a career out of it. It's scary, but yet these are who people listen to, and these people walk around like they're something special, and they're miserable. Another thing that I encourage people now, because people can talk a good game, if you see that the negative, just bring them up on that. And the thing is, you could say, but you're in fear, or you're very negative, and they'll react to it, and you just say, put yourself on mute and watch yourself back, and you tell me if you're coming from a place of love. That's what they look like. Maybe a bit worse. It's just moaning. It's just moaning all the time. Like, from an energy perspective, it's like going to another country. You don't understand what anyone's saying. You can tell, though, who's got good energy, who's smiling, who just looks miserable, who looks like it's going to drain your energy, or you don't. Even if you don't understand the language, do you want to say hello to them? Same thing. So all these labels, again, these are the big soul slaps. It doesn't mean anything. It's just dark versus light, and over time, humans have evolved and learnt how to communicate each other. Then dark versus light, the light have realised the dark are always going to come after us, so let's change the language up. Let's divide the truth, let's hide it. Let's now make countries, let's make time, let's change the map, let's play around with the map, let's make technology with backdoor access, let's create a world wide web and just know that everything that goes on there, we have it all. Let's put movies out, which is an updated Bible all the time, the truth in plain sight, continuous. Let's then make bad people, and let's stretch the narrative in the extreme so much that we control the environment, that if any crazy person still likes these ideas, we'll catch him. Because people will go to extremes to go and follow an idea of someone else. That's how it works. TikTok, I go on there because of the reach is good. But TikTok, when you flick through and you watch some of the profiles and you say, oh, I shouldn't judge and stuff. I'm judging because I'm looking at these people, and it's done on purpose. It's like, I look at, they're not a dancer anyway, but they don't even look like they're having fun doing it, and that's their life, and they're doing all these different, and I'm just watching again. Imagine I'm an alien watching them, thinking, what are you doing? Like, you're doing a that's like when you was at school and your mate turns up and starts dancing to the Barbie Girl song at the rave that you go to. You'd be like, what are you doing? That's the sort of dances that these people are doing, and they get their family involved, and then they do different takes of the same horrible song and a horrible dance, and then and it's all done on likes and views and stuff, and obviously it gets out. But if you're there to disrupt and distract God's children of the light, that's a great way of doing it. Like, they're never going to find God like that. Let them keep them distracted. Let them get caught up in their mind. Let them think that they're doing great and that they're helping loads of people. And it's scary because it's going from authentic, this is my dance, to copy identity. Like, your identity is based on 25 other versions of that dance, and now you're then taking that on as your own truth. Yes, it's crazy, the technology, the way they've done it all. It's like an art. You have the real one, and you have the copies, the limited editions and stuff, and the prints. And then the more they have, the less value it is. It's the same videos, it's the same authenticity. God. So this is where we're at the moment, is that there is a lot of people given information which is not really focusing on what is really going on. There's a reason for that. However, there is a lot more people now awakening to the truth, to the fact that, whoa, there's loads of things happening now. There's a lot more people now waking up to a lot more than that. It goes a lot deeper than the movie we're being shown it actually is in our life. There's a lot of people that have realised what they were doing at some point in their life, or even just recently, And they said, like, that's me done. Like, I can accept it. This is my story. I own it. They've done that. Like, there's all these aspects to this now. It all comes back to God. It all comes back to God. And the thing is, more and more people are starting to realise there is no other outcome. And these systems and these criminal, I'm going to say, enterprise all around the world. I just look at every city in America and every town. They all have their own drug dealers everywhere, right? And they got many of them. You can imagine everywhere. To on the, like, in San Francisco, where you got the homeless, you got the drug dealers there, to all the way up to the corporate world, all in their suits and their briefcase, just drug dealers everywhere. That's just one crime. And that's quite an obvious one. In every town, every city, every company, there's crime. So that's the part where we're at now, is that all this information is there, and I keep encouraging people, go on the Q posts right now are giving us so much questions for us to get the answer. If you keep waiting for someone to tell you it, you're not going to get it. I promise you're not going to get these answers now. If you go on, there's loads of questions. Like, say something like, I've got one up here. Why was the arrest of al-Walid and others important? How was al-Walid and Barack Obama tied to Huma? Why did al-Walid finance Barack Obama before political days? What book was Barack Obama caught reading? Why was it immediately disregarded as false? Why is this relevant? Why would the President of the United States of America be reading this book? What church did Barack Obama... Like, all these questions. How is al-Walid and Hillary Clinton connected? Who was Barack Obama's mentor? Who was Hillary Clinton's mentor? How was al-Walid and the Bush Sr. Jr. connected? What occurred on 9/11? What war did we enter into? What was the purpose and the disclosures? Who financed 9/11? Why recently are 9/11 pages being released? What just occurred in Saudi Arabia? All those questions, you can go on there. You can just type in it. This is what I've been doing today. You type in, you get a lot more easy answers for yourself on Google. There's at the moment, so there's about 9 posts which tie to the 6th of November, 6 years ago. All relevant now because everything we're seeing is war, and at the moment it's in the Middle East, which was the highest of the lands. So if you keep going on there, you'll get your answers quick and you'll connect the dots. If you're just waiting on, and this is one of the worst things that people say, I hope you're right. I hope you're right. No, nothing's happened yet. Nothing's happened. I hope you're right. Why would you hope anyone else is right? Why would you do that? Why don't you just go and look? Oh, I've been waiting for so long. This is taking ages. It's like everything should be perfect for you. We're in a war. We've been born into a war. This goes back from the start of time, from when the land revealed itself. Dark versus light. This is the first time where we've been all connected. This is the first time where we've been educated about the world that we live on. But the darkness was all operating well before that we was even aware of half of that. It's the most, you have to say, believable plan that's been created, but it's magical. Because there's so many elements and aspects to this. There's so much that had to be done behind the scenes. And there's so many things that are coming to play with things like game theory. You make me smile, make me go like, what the fuck at the same time. And you're absolutely right. And his ring. Yeah, there's loads on Saudi Arabia on the post at the moment. Loads of them. So it'll be... So this now just connects Hillary Clinton, Huma Abedin. Then you've got the Saudis. Then you've got Barack Obama. Then you've got funding Iran. Then you've got 9/11. Then you've got the Bin Laden family that were from Saudi Arabia. Straight away, that then connects to Pfizer. Pfizer brings down the house. Now you're seeing Julian Assange come back into the equation. Tucker Carlson went to go visit him in prison, just randomly. That then brings in Afghanistan. That brings in the war in Ukraine. That brings in Pizzagate and WikiLeaks. That brings in Seth Rich. That brings in MS-13. That then starts linking to The politicians. The politicians are all being funded by cartel. It's a cartel operation. Cartel, if you go up higher, you could call mafia, you could call the CCP, you call ISIS, you call it. It's evil. Nazis. It's evil. At the moment, we call it deep state. Like deep state's too soft. It's cartels. In fact, they're satanic worshippers. I think I've got one here. So tomorrow, on the 7th of November, is 3 + 2 + 1 + Q. And on the same day it does, previous deleted, 3 + 2 + 1 + 3 + is Saudis, 2 + was the Rothschilds, 1 + was George Soros. 2 times it was posted. All of it to do with Barack Obama. However, people, get some of the questions answered and put it out there. If you're really willing to help, just answer a few of the questions and put it out there. It will put things together. It's very easy to do. The quicker that people start seeing this stuff, the quicker the changes start taking place. Otherwise, we could be waiting until 2024. I highly doubt that now, with all the wars going on. What we're seeing now is the Palestine uprising. But all that is just the evil people all around the world. And the higher up you go around them lands, with Islam, that's been corrupted for years because it goes way back. And when these criminals get arrested for some of the dirtiest crimes, they get released from up there and they get dumped off in our countries. And this is why Donald Trump was so amazing when he come in. He banned Muslim countries flying into America. 7 countries, terrorist countries. What also it happens is because it's all funded by the same people, when Saudi Arabia got a visit from Trump and then all the arrests took place, all of a sudden all these belly of the beasts realised what's going on. And they realised that they had to break away from the elites, the 1%, because the 1% don't control the whole world. It's the 1% plus their 35%. Let's give it that. And their whole role is to corrupt, deceive, and blackmail God's children to do work for them, to take control of all this. So it comes all the way down. So now you're seeing that if you're evil and you haven't said anything about, I'm not going to say evil, you're doing wrong. So let's say drug dealers again. You haven't paid attention to COVID, you haven't paid attention to news, you've heard all these other people doing it, but you're like, oh no, not. But then you start getting a inkling that something ain't feeling right, and Trump's just taking all these different things and shit, it might be happening. Now they're getting out. It's like, right, we're going to go support Palestine because it's the same people. It's the same people. And at the other side, you've got the Zionists and everyone going on there, but they're the sellouts too. All of that's been put out. Anyone that's moaning, getting angry, wants to retaliate, wants to bomb, look at the children, posting videos, any of that stuff, you're caught in the movie, you're part of the same thing. It's not just one's good, one's bad, they're both bad, and it's intertangled. Because that whole web or system, they play 2 sides, flat earth and globe earth. You get you moaning at each other, and then whoever's just witnessing it, you're going to pick a side, but none of them are right. They just argue with each other. That's how they play you. In everyday life, they'll get one person and another person. This person would talk about that person, and then they hope that you then gossip to them. Then they'll say that they're bitching about you, and then they sting you. That's how it works. They get your words, they get your energy, they get your negativity, and they use it against you. Your word is the law. So you're starting to see now that people are stuck, because in the truth movement, they can't now take a side, really. Because, one, the war looks fake as, and these are the same truthers that were speaking about Ukraine, going, look how rubbish that is, it's all a lie. And then about the Ukraine, sending money to Ukraine, they're moaning about that. Yet at the same time, that's all happening now here. But because it's their people, all of it, they don't have... So all they got to speak about is that. But by doing that, it exposes themselves. And you're starting to see lots of people... Like, they make comments. I'm like, what have you been watching for the last 3 years? Like, how have you now... Someone sent me a video yesterday. That's another thing I can't stand as well. When people just send you a video, don't give you any context. They want you to obviously say something about it. Stop doing that. Like, someone put one, oh, please sign this petition to help the Palestine kids that got bombed. I went, are you joking? What are you watching? Like, why would you? Yeah, just things like that. It's embarrassing, but people are fighting for survival now. I can't lie, I'm watching the movie. Your soul can never lie anyway. Trump's truth yesterday, I just found out that the racist is founded by Soros. Yeah, it brings Soros into the mix. Like I said, tomorrow talks about Soros too. My ex-husband was high up in the Mexican mafia, and it was a very evil life. Interesting is some of the stuff that you see on the MS-13, and it's awful. House and debate is covering the Trump court case. MSN are saying that he's shouting and losing his cool with a judge, losing it really. And the MSN, we control that now as well. So that's still to wake up the normies to go, they're lying now. Again, to give the truthers someone to moan about too. All of that's fantasy. Bringing Trump's family into it as well is just going to be able for the masses to accept that, well, they went after Trump's family, well, let's go after Biden's family. That it's just setting precedent for us to continue educating people. Like, what we're being shown is the worst of the worst on every level, what we would call elite or on TV or in politics. The worst of the worst. All of that is so we can then start seeing, well, that's the worst of the worst. Like human trafficking, sex trafficking, kids. We've been told about all that. A lot of that's been well over-exaggerated by people in the truth movement. But you tell them the worst of the worst. So then once it gets to people in our life, you accept it all. Oh, of course, yeah, it makes sense. Well, yeah, it's the same thing. They do what they can. I'm watching MS-13 now. 13 posts. Oh, I'm not sure what you mean by that one. Is that a coincidence? I don't know what you mean by that one. Yeah, MS-13, if you watch Training Day, again, films in plain sight. Denzel Washington, you see the corrupt police, and then you see how evil these people were. But they're just going to do the hit jobs. And Obama, one of the posts from today, actually authorised the release of these people. I don't know what you're on about though on the 13 and who's posting the stuff. Who else have we got? A question to you: have you been on a Q post yourself still? Because people say, "Oh, I try and get in on." You didn't try. You tried one thing and you gave up straight. You're not interested in the truth. You're interested in being spoon-fed, but you're not interested. It's the main thing to go on. Like, in this war, at least you can go, I went on there, and there's loads of stuff happening now. Like, a lot of people are just reluctant to. And then they're the same ones that moan. No, it can't be. It's on the Q post. We've had the ball the whole time. It's on the Q post. Military are safe. It's on the Q. It's on there. Trust Grassley. Trust Ray. Trust Sessions. It's on there. I'm on it now. Post 13. Yeah, if you go to post 117, 115 is today's one. And again, it's just asking lots of questions. And then there's 3 for tomorrow, 4 for tomorrow. Yeah, so there's graphics to put together as well. Nothing is random, everything has meaning. Saudi. Again, all this stuff is just going to allow people, as soon as 2 people know something, then it becomes out there in the open. It's almost like God makes that happen once you put it out. Yeah, it's so much to it all. For me, it's the bigger story, like how the spiritual beings, we keep coming back and we pick a character. This is God's movie. This is God's creation, and it is a part of his world was being destroyed because he gave all of his children free will, and now he's coming back round to clear up, and he's doing that through his children that accept Christ into their life so they become one with the Father, and it's his plan. So meditation. If people get consistent with that, you tap into it all. We just need people to be able to point us to, like, the shape of the world. If you start realising that that's at the top and it comes down, it spirals, then you'll start seeing how your body, it spirals. There's 7 joints. If you tight in your elbow and your wrist, then you've got your hips, your knee and your ankle. 7 chakras. If you then imagine that you'll feel it all, then you start realising that everything is connected. Everything. Have you seen the movie The Commuter by Liam Neeson? Not yet. Liam Neeson is definitely an agent, though, because all his films are showing you things that happen in plain sight. Like Taken, shows you all this stuff that goes on. Shows you again in that film was the Saudis in the private yachts and stuff, and some of the things that they did to women. How do you know 115 is today? It's the 7th of November. 6th of November. So it's just looking at, it's all gone round again. So I encourage people every day, because these are the original Q posts, to show you that everything that was said 6 years ago will be year 7 now. Everything that was said then is relevant to today, suggesting and showing that we're in full control. This was around the period of when Trump went to Saudi Arabia and all the rest took place. And all the arrests is big, is huge. If you realise that Saudi are the ones controlling everything, that's a massive statement. So if you are part of the criminal syndicate with the trafficking aspect, where you're linking all these different things together, there's a lot of military personnel and people that are served that sold their soul and did like private contracting and security work and stuff as well. But if you think about the demographic of getting people out of the country, doing different flights, and like, it's so big. So when Trump went to Saudi, they realised, fuck, if he's managed to go to the biggest place out of all of them, and also did that speech about peace, and he had all the Muslims, that's a bold statement. And the arrest took place. They panicked. qalerts.app, yeah. qmaps.pub is the one I can remember. I like qalerts.app, and I also like qpost.online, because you can search the actual post number. It just takes you straight there without any confusion. Have a little play on it now, though. Type in Hussein. Look at all the posts on Obama. Type in SA. Well, actually, type in Saud first of all, and then you'll see it, and then you'll connect with it all. It's every post has multiple meanings. You can take one line out of it and connect it with another. Or you can but now you don't have to decode anything. Just answer the questions. It's empowering when you can start putting your own things together. You are very welcome. So things like Hollywood have had their role to play. It's Holywood. What does money buy? How do you prevent tampering? Why are most forms of media left-wing? Why is Hollywood left-wing? Why is the narrative so important? Racism without proof, no proof. Who is Hillary Clinton's mentor? What party is he affiliated with? Proof. What party formed the KKK? What party formed the Confederacy? What party abolished slavery? Republicans. Why are the D's attempting to erase history? Is the black pop truly free today or enslaved by the D party, the devil party? Refer back to the black pop crumbs. Why is this relevant? Why is there attack the day after the bad news is published on the D's? Do you believe in coincidence? Paint the picture. Crumbs will make bread. Operations underway. Operations active. Pray Snow White. Godfather 3. Q. It's all telling us. The black population is huge because the church, you can't corrupt the black body, so you have to corrupt their mind. Blacks are the strongest race in terms of looking at where the sun starts to be where it first started. And if you go back to ancient Egypt, the original ancient Egypt, they're black people. It's African noses that are cut off. It wasn't the Arabs. They were the ones who hid in the shadows. It was the blacks. They could withstand those conditions, which means withstand God. It's earth. when you start then coming down, then you need your mind to get involved, because all of a sudden you have to start thinking about certain things. You have to start building and creating. So there's different parts to it, plus the strongest, the fittest, they become the slaves. And when you get things like where people say, oh, especially when we don't know about history, oh, they sold out their own people. You hear that about Africa. And they sold out their own people. Take out race. There's evil and there's good. There's evil and there's God. So they just corrupt blacks, just like they corrupt whites, just like they corrupt Germans, just like they corrupt England. It doesn't matter about it. It's dark and God. That's it. So when people keep saying things like that, oh, they sold out their own, what are you on about? There's people that took money and then they did work for it. But we go on these stories. And someone the other day said, no, that's not right. Palestine was there first in 1800. Just by saying that comment, you're not paying attention to what's going on. This war started 1776 to clear out all this. So any history and any dates, and it's irrelevant. It's irrelevant because this goes back further. This goes back to a story that we wasn't told about, that has been hid from us. It's the first time ever that we can go on the internet and find information instantly and try to put... But remember, a lot of that information that's being told by the people with the knowledge are not on our team. So the way that it's delivered, like the Freemasons, and they tell you they're the most evil, they're the disgusting ones. Why? Because if they really found out who these people would be gone. Perception. So information is right, it's the people. So again, when you're looking at truthers now, look at the person. Go try to find something about their past. Half of them are not using their real name. I do like asking sometimes. When someone gets mouthing, I know that they're just there to be a troll. Tell me your legal name, your birth legal name. They won't do that. Because I guarantee they're a dirty little pedo or sex offender or rapist that serve time and come out and just try to hide, like a lot of the industries that we're in. And there's revolving doors like the fitness industry, like the coaching industry, where you can come back in, you get qualified, you get educated, and you get a second chance and no one would know. When you search on the post, are you looking for the nearest date on the... No, I'm at the moment I go through one, because it started on the 28th of October, and you can see it's only the 6th now, and we're up to 100 and so. So I'm just going, at the moment, I'm just going the day by day from when the first posts come on. So matching with November back then to November here, because it's in sync in terms of the days now. Monday was the Monday back then on the 21st of October, as an example, would be the Monday 21st October now. So it matches. So for me, there's no right way of doing it. This is what I encourage people. Don't let someone else tell you how to do it. Read it, answer questions, and see if you can find certain stuff. It's really interesting. One thing I can guarantee, that a lot of these posts haven't been read by a lot of the people, because if they did, it'd start highlighting what is going on. This is the last part. These people are doing all they can now to just give you information, give you Trump again. The thing is, you post about Trump, you're still going to get truths. You're seeing Carrie Lake desperate with her stuff now. Oh, let's stick up for Trump. Biden, I can't believe. Ruben Giuliano, that we've never even heard of, and now she's talking about him all the time. I'm going to do things for the mama bears out there and papa bears, and give me your money. Give me some more donations, please. I'm broke and I need your money. That's Carrie Lake at the moment. Then you've got the Linwood Brigade, and I feel that there's a massive psyop going on with General Flynn. Breb Shiesty, he's definitely a white hat character. People are so drawn into his negativity and stuff, but he's playing a role. Because the way that he's calling out certain things now, people are going, yeah, but it's the same groups. So anyone who's called a Flynn bro, and it's his words. And other people are just copying him. And again, moaning, copying, and angry is not in truth. So you need... Linwood's not there anymore. So you need people to regurgitate that stuff, because that's all the Jesus Christ stuff as well, and the sinner stuff. And then you need other people just around that to revalidate it, because people go on mass and don't feel like they're on their own and defend it all. But all it's doing is just bringing things out, and you're seeing truthers are getting called out now. No reaction to it at the moment. They're getting called out. And you got the Liz Crockins and the Lara Logans. That's not them now. They were the big timers. They got caught. Or, for me, that's not them. You can see it on the show. If you got on right now, post 138 was Saud, lead, me, and SA want you to control US politics. 138. That's all the banks. Yeah, that's all the banks. 138. Saud lead me to Saudi Arabia. Yeah, again, I'm not holding people's hand on that one. I'm just encouraging people, go on then now. Stop waiting for others to tell you stuff, and start questioning things a bit more as well, because the reaction's still to certain things, or they'll make a statement but it's not yours, it's just being repeated, and it's so obvious to see now. It's so obvious. So if you really want the truth, start doing a bit on it. It's easy. It literally is easy. So even things like why is Christopher Wray important with regards to these releases? What does money laundering mean? What is the single biggest event that can generate many nation states to pay out billions? Who audits where the money goes? 15,000 for a toothbrush? Reconcile. Why did we attack Iraq? Halliburton. Who are they? What do they specialise in? What is oil field service? Why is this relevant? Getting questions. How is this connected to Saudi Arabia? How is this connected to Al Walid? And then all of a sudden you've got another answer there. Yeah, it's taking the time, and also when you then do your own searches and it puts something together, it's like, it's magic. It's magic. Yeah, for me now, people should just be going into a meditative state every day, at least twice, I encourage. But you can do that listening to, if you're listening to something, close your eyes and listen to it. That's meditation. I encourage that because that's God. You get more and more clear, more and more downloads, even that word, don't like it. Because of the people that gave it to it. It's like, it pops out of it. It's like a light bulb, a bright idea. So anyway, people, I'm going to do a lot more lives this week, just to give little updates on it, especially on these Q posts, and just to try to put together some of the things that are being shown to us to put it out as an awareness for people, just to see. It could be just part of the movie, which all of this is that's being shown to us, but also to see the reactions. Why is it important that they're going to court at the moment? What does that do? You going Rumble? No, I'm not doing Rumble today. I don't Rumble. I go on Rumble now. I'll post these on Rumble, but no, I'm not going on Rumble now. I've done far too much of this research for like each week and stuff as well. So these lives are perfect. They're not too long. They cover a bit. Yeah, people ask too much and they don't give anything back at all. No appreciation whatsoever. And I realised that a lot of the movie side of things is for us to enjoy. There's a few things that it's obvious now that we just need to bring a bit more light to. However, all the same names are all part of the same thing now, so it's all going to reveal itself. And the key part to all this now is just the people, not the movie. People in your life, people in the truth movement, people that we've been learning from, that we've been growing with, that we've been building relationships with. That's the next part. That's the toughest part that we're going to find very hard. However, and this is the key thing, I'll finish off on this. Anyone moaning that they don't like the way things are, anyone moaning that they don't like the way things are going, anyone moaning of what happened in the past, stop it. It's all part of God's plan. You have no say in it, none. So you can moan about it all you want, but it's already happened, it's gone. So stop moaning on there. Stop moaning that things should happen faster, or people are dying, there's people dying. Stop moaning, there's people dying every single day. This is God's plan. We're removing evil for good, forever. We're educating. We're going to be in a world where we don't have any of that. We're going to be in a world where every animal is going to be roaming around with us. We'll be walking with lions. We'll be walking with our pet wolf. We'll have all that because it'll be love. We'll know how to do it all too. We'll be in a world where you can be openly free. So you can moan about these other things. If you keep moaning, then don't come into this world. Because for me, it's like the moaning comes from within. That's all it is. But that has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with any of us. We don't change the outcome of the outside story. We change the outcome of how we watch the outside story based on our feelings first. The way that we view it from our eyes. That we then put into words from our future, to our family, to their family and their generations. That's how. It doesn't change. So sort your energy out. That is the key aspect. Any moaning, that's in you. Any whinging, that's on you. Everything is owning that we're control of. Own it inwards. The owner. Ownership is have control of your ship, your vessel. A partnership is get your mind and body in alignment. Align the mind. It's a partnership and you're the owner of it. Enjoy the Great Awakening, people. Catch you soon.